blessed day to all of you who are here with us, and also those who are joining us through this live stream in other parts of the world. I would like once again to focus this reflection on the first reading from the book of Revelation. And this week we started this to read from this book of Revelation, the last book in the New Testament. And for the next 2 weeks, which coincides precisely with the end of the liturgical year, the book of Revelation will serve as a kind of a backdrop of the biblical readings of the liturgy. At the start of the book, we find 7 letters addressed to the churches of Asia Minor. And there are several lines of interpretation of this book. Some would interpret it literally, which becomes problematic because it ignores, for example, the value of the complex symbolisms present in this book. Some see this book as a kind of a horoscope of the end of the world, favorite of those, the millennialist movement, for example. There is a proposal of looking at it and takes it seriously how the book of Revelation presents itself. And we have some clue on this. At the beginning and at the end, it calls itself as a prophecy. The term, as it is known, would like to indicate, above all, the revelation of the sense of history or the meaning of history and God's project that is at work in it. In these images and symbolisms, this is the main concern of the book, to reveal the sense of history and God's project that is at work in it. The book of Revelation then is a book of hope addressed to a church experiencing intense and internal crisis and from within, and is subjected to persecution from outside. By showing the great goal of history, the Christian faithful is invited, therefore, not to be passive, but to fight and continue to hope. The solemn scene of today's first reading, taken from chapters 4 and 5 of this book, serves as a kind of a prelude to the scenes that we will be reading in the next days, the scene of the 7 seals in chapters 6 and 7. In front of these surprised eyes of the faithful, a great hall opens to the throne of God and His royal court. The whole scene is covered with a transparent symbolic cloak which is torn open at the center where He sits, the one who was, who is, and who is to come, the omnipotent God. The 24 old men represent the entire people of God, the 2 covenants, the 12 tribes, and the 12 apostles. The image of the sea, according to the Eastern symbolism, incarnates the demons and the evils that invade, try to attack the splendor of God's creation. and the good. And the four living creatures, which from Saint Irenaeus in the 3rd century onwards are transformed into symbols of the four Gospels, probably to indicate the four angels who rule the four cardinal directions, thus indicating harmony of all beings and making them converge in an equilibrium. Lion, for example, represents nobility. The bull represents power, strength. The image of the man represents intelligence. Eagle with agility. So the images refer back to that famous calling of Ezekiel in the Old Testament prophecy. And from this heavenly assembly rises a hymn of praise, which the Trisagion or the threefold holy of Isaiah joins in a cosmic song to the Creator. What is the message of this? Among the many messages of this book is that in the midst of the passing world, in the midst of the turmoil of history, with this image of heaven, the Lord wants us to recognize that God is in charge. Yes, there may be turmoil, there may be disappearance of this or that kingdom, but we know that God is stable. God is in charge in His kingdom. And this should be a source of hope for us as we struggle here on earth. Yes, there may be, we need to fight, we need to struggle, but again, it is good to remember that God is in charge. He leads and guides our life, our history. He comes to us again with the certainty of His love in the Eucharist as He gives Himself as our sustenance. May we continue to place our hope and trust in Him. Amen.